Hi, Charlene here from Radical Feng Shui, coming to you from the tropics. I've talked to you about the next couple of months. I'll be talking about indoor and outdoor spaces. I've talked about form school, and I've talked a bit about how we can look at the spaces around us to see if the form is strong, what works for us, and what doesn't work for us. And that's a really key part of allowing ourselves to expand into an outdoor space, especially in the northern and southern hemispheres during the summer, when we can really actualize those spaces and make them as more important and more usable than they actually are. So the checkpoints are really important. Before we get into the bagua, I want to talk now a bit about what it's like in the tropics, because here in the tropics we find that it's indoor-outdoor living all of the time. Now, it's very end of the dry season here, and we finally got some rains, and all of a sudden that incredible heat changed, and now we're getting cool breezes coming through. And I'm up on a mountaintop, and we get these lovely breezes, but if you're down in the valleys, it's going to be a little stagnant. This goes back to the form school, which I talked to you about. Even though you may have a little tiny place where you sleep inside and the rest of your outdoor living is with big roofs and you're living in the exterior of the tropics, you still have to look at where are you located in terms of height on a mountain for breezes, or down in gullies where it gets stagnant energy or the breezes aren't quite there. However, going back to when I was talking about the veins of the dragon, the waterways, when we're in lower areas and we're near beautiful things like quebradas, that would be a little stream here that might turn into a river when the rainy season comes. Rivers, those type of things bring a cool air through with them. So if you have a location that is down in the lower areas and you're closer to water, that makes a lot of difference, because the water energy brings with them a life force chi that actually invigorates us, and it brings a cooling breeze. And if you're lower in the jungle and away from the heat, then that's another part of keeping cool if you're in jungle or tropical climates. Now, this happens all over, whether you're talking about Indonesia, if you're talking about Northern Australia, if you're talking about Latin America or into South America, you're talking about any tropical climate. The architecture always is part of the vernacular, which is looking at what works in that area. That goes right to the adobe houses in Africa, right to like the thatched roofs that are here. It's like, what type of building is going to work in a location that brings in the most incredible energized cooling air and protection from rains when they're happening. So we're going to touch more on the vernacular in the next video. Charlene here, Radical Feng Shui. Please subscribe. Ciao.